everyone. We hope everyone's doing good, except for those people that camp next to you and run their generator all night. I hope your next glass of milk has big gooey chunks in the bottom of it. Just playing. Just drives me crazy sometimes. Anyway, Riley and I have left Arizona after being there for 6 months. We have slid up into Utah, so gonna go check that out. We were in Utah at the end of the first year that we left, and spent about a week there before we went to Colorado for about a week. So we're back to do some more looking. Also, Riley and I did get kicked out of the northern part of Coconino National Forest up outside of Flagstaff. I've talked about situational awareness. That was on me. I thought it was a fire closure, but it's no camping. It started May 1st, 2023, and I believe it goes through May 1st, 2025. So almost all of the dispersed camping outside of Flagstaff and the National Forest has been closed. So if you're gonna head that way, definitely take a look and make sure that it's open. Caleb National Forest up by the Grand Canyon is not affected and is still open. And then also Cinder Hills recreational area that touches up against that Coconino National Forest up on 89 outside of Flagstaff is still open. We did stay one night there, so you can go there, but if you're trying to get in the National Forest proper, double check. I'd like to give a shout out to my friend Stacy for looking some stuff up on the old Google Maps when I didn't have the ability to. We stayed somewhere where I had cell service but no data service, which is kind of weird. We were on a secondary carrier, so I could text and make phone calls, but I couldn't use the internet. I could open Google Maps, but I couldn't look anything up on there. So it was kind of like being back in the early 2000s, before everybody had a smartphone, and back when you had to use a Thomas guide. For those people that don't know, a Thomas guide would be like Google Maps if it was just a bunch of photos in a spiral notebook, and instead of being able to type in what you want, you had to go to the index and look it up, and then it would give you a page. And once you got to that page, it would give you a corresponding letter and a number for the location you're looking for. And then once you found it, it wouldn't even tell you if there was a Trader Joe's or a Starbucks there. It would just give you the location on the map. So looking back and in hindsight, using a Thomas guide was much more like playing Battleship or Bingo than it was like using a modern smartphone with Google Maps. So anyway, shout out to Stacy for offering to look that stuff up. It was cool. It's a good little hand, and actually changed the direction I was going to go due to the information she gave me. But that's something to think about when you're heading out there after you got your brand new bougie van. You're going to go over the hill through the woods, and then you get somewhere and park on that piece of dirt that you saw on a map or on Campendium, and you're there for the night, and you might not have service on your phone. Most people pay more for their phone now than I paid for a lot of the vehicles I own. So once you get to dinner time and you realize that you only have a half a bag of Skittles and your favorite can of soup, and you go to eat it and realize that you don't have a can opener and it's not a pop-top can, so you grab that phone and you go to look for an Uber Eats somewhere in the county and see if they'll deliver you some cold French fries for 10 times face value, but you realize that you have no service. So now you're holding a $1,500 flashlight. Just one of those things to take into consideration. A lot of times once you get off the beaten path, there'll be limited service or no service. I've had both those circumstances come up within the last week. really spotty service. And like I said, I stayed one night where I had cell service. I could text and call, but I had no data. I couldn't use Google Maps and or internet or social media or any of that type of stuff. So just something to think about before you head out there. So Riley and I have successfully made it to Utah and also have found a place to stay for a night or two. Not too far from a town with some amenities. Pretty small tourist town, so they don't have a lot of stuff going on there. But we're actually out by some sand dunes, so even the ground around before the sand dunes is very sandy. We didn't look around too much. Don't want to get the old van stuck in the sand. That would not be a good time. And side note on the closure of the Coconino North part up around Flagstaff, where we were politely asked to leave. They weren't rude or anything. They're just trying to get everybody out of there. So double check that. Maybe go on the government website and poke around, see if you can find any information on that before you head that way. Other than that, don't be that generator guy or girl. Be a good neighbor. Like I said, most people out here on the path less traveled are cool, so don't be the one that's not cool. And other than that, thanks for coming along again with us this week. Riley and I would like to say thank you, safe travels, safe adventures, and until then, cheers.